For those of you that are having trouble playing single notes cleanly, there is a bunch of exercises which you can use. You've got to think of them as exercises. I suppose now and again the actual notes would appear in a song, or the phrase, the way it's actually played. But simply, what you want to do is just concentrate on string one only. So if you put our first finger just behind the fret. Now, when you actually fret a note, make sure you don't, if you're going to be on, say, fret 2, don't go there, because you're going to have to push really hard to make sure it's pushed against that wire, which is called the fret. They call that the fret, which is obviously the gap, but that's the fret wire. So that's where you want to put your finger if you want to be on fret 2, just behind it, not there. So you don't have to put so much pressure on to get a note. If I held that same pressure and move that back a little bit there, you see, the note disappears. You have to slide it up slightly and there it is, nice clean note. So that's the main thing you want to do, is just get just behind the fret. So if we go to fret 1 and you hold your finger down on that, my thumb is just there, you can just probably see it. I get too many children trying to do this with the thumb, and really you're not holding the guitar at all with your thumb, but in fun. So the whole point is to try and use your thumb to grip together. You're forcing your fingers, not a massive force, just a little bit. So you're using your thumb to squeeze your finger against the fret, or against the actual fretboard. So this is what we're doing. We're going from fret 1, and you leave your first finger there, then go to fret 2, and then to fret 3. And you can see that all 3 fingers are spaced out. You can do 4, but we're just going to stick with 3 at the moment. The other thing to point out is if you want to use your thumb, that's completely fine, or your finger, but I'm just using a plectrum at this point. Then what you want to do is, once you've played that, is move the whole thing up, just slide it up to there, and then keeping all your fingers down, play the 3rd finger note, and then just slightly lift that, and then play your 2nd finger note, which will which will give you your 1st finger note again. So just to repeat that, you get this. What you want to get away from is this, and lifting those off, and then you don't really want to do that. It's just programming your brain to tell your fingers what to do. You can actually repeat that, just go backwards and forwards. As you can see, just get a little bit faster. If you want to, you can carry on going all the way up the top. I'll just do a little bit so you can see. If you want to go back down. So there you go. So that's just a simple thing that you can do to try and get your fingers in the right place. Don't forget, just behind the fret, not back from the fret. Doesn't take much. I do understand that for little fingers, that is quite a big area. It's just over 25 millimeters, or an inch in old money. So, but the further you get up there, obviously the frets are, you don't have to move so much. If you're back there, you're possibly going to get a note, but you might have to squeeze. You can tell there's a little bit of a buzz, but if you just move it a tiny bit, it's nice and clean. So if you're down there, you've definitely got to be just behind the fret. There you go. That's just a simple exercise. There are literally, well, I wouldn't even go into the thousands, but there must be hundreds. You could actually use the 4 fingers and so forth. There you go. They're just a few examples that you can use to try and strengthen your fingers up and get a bit more accuracy.